Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to the Kingdom Within podcast. I am your host, David Forshee, and in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look within the Kingdom Within podcast. Yep, today we're going to just kind of take a look of how we got here, what are my intentions, what am I doing here? And this was brought on by some of the last stuff that I posted. I just figured this would be a good way for you guys to kind of get to know me and just to kind of open up some conversation um, and move in with some more transparency and what have you. So, with all that being said, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, that helps channels out, as you already know. And yeah, I'm not going to press you on all that stuff. Um, but it does help move these ideas forward. So if something did resonate with you, I encourage you to act upon whatever it is that's calling you. um, so for full transparency, I have recorded this video about 3 or 4 times now. I have adapted a new way of recording my voice and what have you. Just trying to get a better audio for you guys. I'm just trying to clean it up for everybody. And yeah, it just didn't work out this time. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, and I hope that it's good for everybody. Um, so yeah, I was gonna run down not all my spiritual experiences or everything, but just kind of bring you up to date. Okay. So when I was a kid, um, I would have all these astral projections and out of body experiences and what have you. Um, they were, yeah, I didn't have anybody to talk to about them. When I did try to talk to people about them, the words just wouldn't come up. It wouldn't come out right. And nobody around me has, had these kind of experiences. So it was kind of, left up to a little kid. But probably one of the most, transformative experiences I had when I was a kid was I was in a dream, and I was I had hatched out of a bun. Is what they called a bun, and what I later uh, identified as like a paperclip. But but yeah, I hatched out of this bun, and these two beings met me there, and they're all like celebrating and stuff, and um, it was just one of those experiences that kind of kicked off the rest of my experiences. Like after that, astral projection and stuff like that, it just came to me nearly nightly, you know, or every other day, or every other week, or something like that. But they were often throughout my childhood, and until I turned about 18, 19, I had a real big experience um, that changed my life. And before I get into that experience, I just want to say that I do not condone or recommend that anybody try any of this stuff. Um, but for full transparency, this is how I got here. So I was out with a friend that I'm not usually out with, out doing things I wasn't normally doing. Uh, Me and the friend had went down to Nashville to get some LSD, and um, that night I hadn't planned on taking any, um, but I wanted to test it out for my friends, make sure it was all right, and um, it sent me off, and I basically broke through something in my mind. There was some kind of like riddle or something that I had fallen into, and I had found the answer, and it unlocked the world for me. It's like everything became very clear. I After that, I started getting into the Bible. I started getting into different things, Zen Buddhism and other religions and what have you. But I still didn't really have anybody to talk to. These experiences that I had were just so unique and what have you, and I just didn't have words for them. And yeah, although it was like really transformative, I was still really young and still trying to figure out life. And although it did push me in a better direction, um, it still wasn't what made me who I am today. It was just kind of a stepping stone, if you will, in the journey. And so we're going to fast forward a little bit to 2024. Um, and in 2024, I was kind of making it my mission. Like, I was like, I believe in the Bible, I believe in all this God stuff. It's like, I really need to buckle down if I want to get into heaven. And so at that time, I didn't have the mindset I have now, but we're going to get there. But these things kept happening to me. Like, I lost my job, I lost my cars. Um, life just wasn't going very well for me. And, I was praying to God. I was like, man, what's going on? All these things keep happening to me. Like, I'm over here, trying to do my best. What's going on? I'm crying, you know, breaking down, and something that's never happened to me before. I've had all these experiences before, astral projection, out of body experiences, all that good jazz. Um, but this was like the cake topper. Because I heard an audible voice that was not my own. I'm alone in the room and everything. And I'm asking God, why? Why is this going on? Why am I being tormented so much? You know, and a voice came through and said, because you're choosing to. And in that moment, like it's like it all come over washing over me. It's like I really am choosing to do this. The this Bible told me is like not to have any fear, not to have any worry, you know. And here I am doing that exact thing. And of course that's gonna block you. Um and after that, I went on a little journey. Um, I got baptized, which we'll talk about that in some other episode because that's a thing all on its own. And I'm having all these experiences and stuff along the way. But then I found the teachings of Emmanuel Swedenborg, and I started applying that to my life. And I started to really think deeply about what this man was teaching and what I had learned. And it changed my whole life. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it to you, but I no longer see my struggles as something that I need to worry about. Now, I'm not saying I don't need to do anything about them. If I don't like something in my life, I have the power to change that. And I know that God wants the best possible life for me. And He's always there with me, helping me, guide me, and what have you. And one thing that kind of has to happen before you take this next step sometimes is you have to break down. You know, I always use this example when I'm thinking about it. Right? It's like if you break a bone, and it takes you a while to get to the hospital, right? Like, what's the first thing to do? The doctors do? That to re-break your bones so they can put it back together, right? And I kind of feel like that's what was going on in my life. And now, I'm still being operated on. I'm still moving through the motions, but I'm working with God now instead of adding resistance to God. And, or at least I'm trying to, putting forth my honest effort into it. And, as I'm doing all this stuff, people keep asking me, oh, you got a YouTube channel, or, what do you do with all this stuff, Um, and it was a common theme for a while, which helped me, formulate this YouTube channel and, um, kind of go on into it from there. And, because it really made me think, if this information is helping me so much, then I know that it can help other people. And yeah, there's a lot of people out there talking about, there's enough channels out there talking about the Swedenborg stuff. Uh, but I wanted something more, focused on like what's transformational. What helps pull out of the depression? What helps move my life forward? What could possibly help you move your life forward? You know, um, so yeah, that's kind of how we got here. I kind of want to show others and be an example for others. I want to be someone that you can trust is real. I keep all my old stuff up, or I have, and at this point anyway, just to help show you guys that, I'm just like everybody else. I make mistakes, but we can change and we can grow, and it is possible. And, one of my biggest things is to help create heaven on earth. I, I believe that heaven's a, a mindset, if you will, like a state of mind. Like, and I also believe that we're either creating heaven or we're creating hell on earth. When we're acting out of, frustration and, um, all that bad juju stuff in your head, anger, um, all that stuff. And when we take our pleasures that, we desire, like, um, fame or lust or greed or any of that stuff, when that's the focus of what we're doing, I feel like that throws a whole bunch of other people off, you know, and it doesn't help the world in any kind of way. And so, yeah, in myself, in my actions, I try to lead with love. I try to be that example for other people. And yeah, sometimes, I'm not the greatest, but I correct myself and I can admit when I'm wrong. And I believe that we learn the best from everybody else around us. I believe that we learn from other people. Um, everybody has their own story to share. Everybody has their own, unique uh, take on the world. What I said may not resonate with you. It may not, um, be the thing that kind of helps wake you up and helps you do better. Um, so yeah, I want to create a safe space here for people to share whatever it is that they need to share. I want to, help people uh, to share without fear. Because that's one thing that always kept me from sharing these experiences before was anytime I would come up and say any of this stuff, people would get weirded out by it, and they'd be like, "Oh, what you're feeling is not real," you know, yada yada yada. Guys, I do not want to do that here. That is not what this channel's about. This channel's about lifting people up. It's about um, doing better in the world. And no one does better when they're being attacked like that. And yeah, so that's kind of what we how we got here, guys. And I just wanted to put something out that helped you guys get to know me a little bit better, get to know my story a little bit better. Everything that I do is kind of driven through this, and just like the band stuff, all the music. I think music's magic, and it could music can help pull you out of a bad mood at any time, and it can lift your spirits up. I mean, it's an experience all on its own. And I love doing that just as much as I love talking to people and trying to help people out. So, yeah, moving forward, if you're listening in on this and you want to share something, um, feel free to, write down the comments. Um, maybe you want to be on the show. And I think that's great. Maybe it's your art. You want to, draw some. I think that'd be great. Uh, whatever it is, I think that you guys are just as big a part of this as I am. And when enough of us speak up and enough of us get together, you know, the the world's at our hands. And um that's kind of what this is all about. This is just a regular dude, sharing his experiences, um, and just trying to find my part in all this stuff. And yeah, um, I'm gonna end it here, guys. If you liked anything that I said, like I said, share it, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Um, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. And I hope you guys are getting something from this. And if you're listening this far to this video, then I know something did resonate with you. And there is something about what I'm saying that kept you in this video this long. And, whatever that is, go with it, you know. Write me, tell me about it, tell me something I can maybe be doing better or what have you. Um, or maybe not even better, just like, hey, I like that you did this, you know, and yeah, all that stuff helps out. Um, yeah, you can find my email address in the descriptions below. And yeah, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me at the band Night. You can find it here on YouTube, find it on Facebook, all that good stuff. Listen to the music, listen to the podcast. I hope this brings some kind of joy to your heart. Uh, I love you guys so much, and keep searching within. Thank you for clicking on this video.